right. Good morning, Panthers. Thank you for showing up today. Please stand through the posting of the colors, and afterwards, remain standing as the fourth graders will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody should stand, please.
And a half step forward, march. Double left, march. Detail, hold. Right, peace. There goes colors, hold. Recover. Present, punch. Order, arm. Right, peace. Forward, curve. Detail, hold. Left, peace. Take, cease. Ready, seat.
Good morning and thank you for joining us today. Thank you to the PTO PAC for securing a donation from Dover Flag so all of the students and staff can wave flags today. You may be seated. As we gather for our Veterans Day program, it's important to remember why this day holds such a special significance. Today is a day to honor all veterans who have served in every branch of our armed forces. Today, we recognize their bravery, sacrifices, and dedication to protecting our freedoms and values. We are here together to reflect on their contributions and express our heartfelt gratitude. With that in mind, I'd like to invite everyone to stand again as we welcome our middle school chorus and third grade students to the front to lead us in the Star Spangled Banner. During the song, you can show your appreciation by waving your flags.
Thank you. Today we are honored to be joined by members of the American Legion Post 494. I'd like to welcome Candy to the podium to tell you a little bit about what she does and to introduce her fellow veterans and members of the American Legion Post 494.
Good morning. Are you all awake out there? Great. Well, another year has gone by. We come in here on this day again to honor all those great men and women that served our country and still serve this country to keep us safe. So, my name is Candace Rothering. I served in the U.S. Navy. I'm a Gulf War veteran, and I was a petty officer 3rd class when I got out. And I'm going to introduce each one of the members here from our post. And then if you want to hold your applause till the end, and then we'll applause for everyone at one time, okay? So I have George Kling, served in the Army, Specialist 5, Vietnam. John Coyne, Army, Specialist, Specialist SPC, Vietnam. We have one member that's not a veteran, but his dad and his grandpa served. He is part of our SAL, which is Sons of American Legion. It's Bill Rothering. Then we have Richard Milkey, Air Force, TC. He was in Vietnam. Vietnam era, sorry, thank you. And we have Bill Mortensen, Army, Specialist 4, Vietnam. And we have Randy Worth Sr., Army, First Sergeant. He served in Vietnam, Persian Gulf, and he also helped with the Korean defense. Let's give them all a big hand. I want to thank any veterans that are sitting out there for your service as well. I appreciate that. I do see that we have one gentleman that was on the honor flight. I'm glad you got to attend that. I am moving up in the Legion. The Legion does a lot for children and veterans. We have a lot of programs, a lot of scholarships we hand out. And I actually have moved up. I am now the district commander, which covers 5 counties: Waukesha, Walworth, Racine, Kenosha, and Rock County. And it's great to meet with all of the veterans from those areas, but also seeing all the kids that are participating in our scholarship program. So I encourage you, when you get into high school, look at the American Legion scholarships that are available and programs, and take advantage of them. They will help you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Candy. Now let's welcome our 5th and 6th grade students to share the significance of Veterans Day and some interesting facts about it.
Today, we are here to recognize a special event called Veterans Day. A veteran is a soldier who has served or currently serving his or her country in any part of the United States Armed Forces.
The U.S. military has 6 branches of service: the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and the Space Force. Many Americans believe that Veterans Day is the day Americans set aside to honor men and women who have died in battle, but I'm not quite sure. Memorial Day, which is the month of May, is the day set aside to honor those who lost their lives while serving our country, especially during battle or from wounds sustained during battle. Veterans Day, on the other hand, honors all American veterans, both living and dead. In fact, Veterans Day is largely intended to thank all living veterans for dedicated and loyal to their service. November 11th of each year is the day that we set aside to make sure the veterans know that we deeply appreciate the sacrifices they have made. Why was this date chosen?
November 11, 1919 marks the end of World War I. To be more exact, fighting officially ended at 11 a.m. November 11, 1918. This is actually the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. That is why Veterans Day is always on the 11th day of November.
Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day. It was originally meant to honor the veterans of World War I. However, after World War II and the Korean War, people realized that veterans from these wars were also responsible for keeping peace in the world. Congress decided to honor those who have served America in both war and peace.
In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day, a day to honor men and women who have protected our country and our allies. How many veterans are living in the United States?
There are actually 18.1 million veterans in the United States, according to the Department of Veterans Affairs. These veterans have served or are serving in one of the 6 branches of the armed forces. Imagine 300 football stadiums full of people and you got the picture. That's a lot of veterans. Whether you personally know a veteran, see a veteran out in the community, or meet them at an assembly like this, remember to honor our veterans and thank them for their service to our country. It is important to show our patriotism to those who have fought or are still fighting for our freedom today. Thank you for joining us in honoring our veterans. There are around 19 million veterans in the USA. That means every 1 out of 18 people you see will be a veteran. Women make up 13% of all veterans in the United States, especially after 9/11. Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day because it marked the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Red poppies serve as a symbol of remembrance for the soldiers who lost their lives in World War I. Red poppies grew over the former battlefields in Europe. In 1954, President Eisenhower changed the name from Armistice Day to Veterans Day so it would honor all veterans. There are other Veterans Day. National Canine Veterans Day is March 13th, Women's Veterans Day is June 12th, and National Atomic Veterans Day is July 16th.
November 11th was also the same date the Mayflower Compact was signed in 1620. In the past, people tried to change Veterans Day to Mayflower Day.
Several other countries marked the end of World War I on November 11th. Canada, Australia, France, and Belgium call it Remembrance Day.
Popular ways to celebrate Veterans Day include parades, laying of wreaths for soldiers, aircraft flyovers, and moments of silence for the fallen. Veterans Day honors all American troops who served out of
outstanding job 5th and 6th grade students. At this time, we would like to invite any veterans in the audience to please stand and be recognized via applause. If you are a veteran in the audience, please stand. Raymond School wants to thank you for your service to our country. Now, I'd like to draw your attention to the video screen behind me as we watch a short appreciation video created by Mr. Jacobs' 7th and 8th grade social studies students. for the rest of the program. We are going to invite a middle school student to come down and play taps, and we do not clap at the end of this song.
Present, arm. Order, arm. Parade, press.
Let's all take a moment of silence in recognition of those who have lost their lives or are missing in action in service to our country. The American Legion is invited now to post, the American Legion Post 494 will now retire the colors.
3 steps forward, arm. Right, peace. Forward, arm. Detail, hold. Right, peace. Present, arm. Order, arm. Retire the guards. Hold. Left, free. Out left, heart. Detail, hold. Dismiss.
Excellent. Well, thank you for everyone coming. Let's give one more round of applause for all of our veterans. And a big thanks to Ms. Brockman and our teaching staff for putting together all of the comments and projects for today. Good job. Give them a hand. And at this time, you are all dismissed. You can head back to class and enjoy the rest of this wonderful Veterans Day. Thank you for coming.